So this whole stream is kind of a test stream to make sure that everything is working, that I sound okay, that it looks okay. I'm getting a warning right now saying that my resolution is incorrect and it won't work, but it looks like it's okay. No? It looks okay to me. It's amazing. You think 3 monitors is like too many, and then you stream and it's not enough. But yeah, just a quick stream, make sure everything's working, and also Daggerheart playtest just released today. And I wanted to check it out because I haven't seen anything really about it. The only stuff I know is that you roll with 2 d12s, and one is a hope dice and one is a despair dice or something. So yeah, I've downloaded the playtest, and then we can check out some of the videos on Critical Role that they've been doing, and I think they're streaming later. Let me see if I can get rid of this resolution warning. Output. Now, to change my resolution, I'd have to stop streaming. So I'll do that for next time. But yeah, things seem stable. Things seem to be working. Hey Brad, yeah, I'm excited about it. So you watched all these videos, including, let's see, I've got a bunch up here. Oh, so this I just wanted to talk with first. I was looking at Ludwig earlier. I feel really bad. I feel like I have done Matt Mercer bad. You wonder what makes this different? Yeah, be interesting. Maybe it's just supposed to be similar but different enough to get some competition in the space. So, yeah, I did a video talking about Matt Mercer's refereeing style, where hold on.
If the logic doesn't make sense, a great example of this is at the Wembley live show, where he fundamentally just asks Marissa to tell him how Sentinel would stop a giant monster, because it just doesn't make sense for it to be able to do that, even though the rules say it should.
That is
So it's this clip.
15 damage, Sentinel, he does not move. Yes!
Please tell me how Sentinel stops this creature.
And he's fundamentally saying, like, it's a gigantic Godzilla-sized creature, and Marissa wants to use Sentinel on it, and he's like, it doesn't make sense to me how you would stop this with, like, a monk staff. And I watched this, and I was like, I took that to be like, okay, cool, so rules as written, like, you don't always, whatever the ruling is in the moment, the DM is right, you go with it if it makes sense to the DM at that point in time. But people, like, the comments went on fire of people saying that he did Marisha dirty and that he shouldn't have done it like that. And I was kind of defending him, but they were right. Like, he handles it weird, but he's like at a live show at Wembley, so he's stressed out. And the idea for me was simply that you're dealing with so much stuff as a DM, it's okay to just say this is how it is, and then your players should be like, okay, whatever you say, and then you can like discuss it afterwards or whatever. And then Matt commented, which is insane to me, that he has seen my face and watched my videos. Not because I am a massive Matt fanboy, I mean I am, but just because he is arguably the biggest creator in the space. And he's apologizing for being him, and it makes me feel so bad that my videos caused him to like come out and be like, hey, I could have handled this better, you know, a lot of stress, and I made sure everything was okay afterwards, learn from my mistakes. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing where I'm like, holy shit, Matt Mercer has commented on one of my videos, but also at the same time, he's apologizing. I pretty much made a propaganda video about him, dissing him. It is awesome he's seen a video. It is. It just, I wish it was under different circumstances. But that's crazy that my video's getting that kind of reach. So Foxy, you watched the character creation stuff. What makes it so different? Long-term campaign play. How do you hide behind a door that is just prison bars? And suddenly he got very creative. Oh, okay. What do I think about no attack roll? I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit, because it seems like the general community is a big fan of no attack roll. To the point of like it speeds up games. I think the biggest issue with attack rolls is that if a player misses, then they potentially lose their entire go and a spell slot or like an important resource, and that absolutely sucks. And I agree with that. I think you can fix that to make it that it's not as big a deal when you miss, but I like the idea of players being able to like deflect like attacks or like dodge them, or I just like the idea of people whiffing and missing, because I think that happens. So I don't know what the middle ground is. It's just, I think they should still be there. I think people should still be able to miss somehow, I guess is what I'm getting at. Oh yeah. He's right though, you think the tone and energy of his response, that was more of an issue than the thought process. It came at the player like a wall to the face. Yeah, I did. He did come across like the whole are you being patronizing thing, and him just being but I don't know, just as a DM I feel that energy sometimes. It's like a high stakes thing. He's got 1,000 things going at once, and I'm not saying I'm not saying be a dick to your player, so that he was, but I think it's okay to just let some of that frustration out in those moments, and your players should just be like, fair enough. Because players give that energy all the time, I find. Like, it's weird that the DM should be above that when it's just they have so much pressure on them. He's an amazing DM. You don't hate him at all. He was live and that's stressful. Yeah, and I think we can spark a balance of knowing that like we can dislike a ruling or dislike a full play style without hating the DM or the creator. But with this, people were like coming at him in the comments. Like people were like, I would have left the table if he had said that to me. And it's like, people need to have a little bit more patience with their DM. If that moment would make you walk away from the table forever. Yeah. Good night, Foxy. All right, let's take a look at some of this stuff. Mainly, can do the videos, but
may change, shift.
I think I actually want to look at the just how to play actual playtest real quick, which is just extract this. Also, let me know if my stream quality is having issues, please, because this is supposed to be a test as much as anything else. GM materials. Play guide. Okay. So, now, obviously this is a beta. Like, the huge disclaimer. Let me get that up for you guys. They are probably going to change this a lot, and they are not, like, happy with it right now. Or they might be happy with it, but they're willing to change it completely. Thanks, Ben. Now, cool. It's more the lag. I would like to know. I've streamed in the past a while ago, and I was mostly on Twitch, and the latency was so low. Like you would see a comment and talk, and then the person who sent the comment would see you reply to it straight away. And I think YouTube's a lot slower. So. Yeah. So, action rolls. When the GM calls for an action roll. Now, I don't want to... I'm sure everyone can just read through this themselves, so I'm going to kind of skim through it. Hopefully quite fast. +1 agility, +1 thief. Decide what modifiers apply. Spend hope to add an experience. So, already in the first moment, it's... I don't know what's going on. So, let's hopefully that clears itself up. Roll your duality dice and add them together along with your modifiers, and then 20 with fear. Tell the GM the result and which duality die rolled higher. I see. So it's like you add in +1 and +1, rolling a dice, and then you're saying what you got and with what dice you got it. Meaning straight away, you're going to have different coloured dice in Daggerheart, or like 2 different dice that are different enough for you to always like know which one's which, but also like the people around you, your GM especially. Because otherwise I can see players kind of, maybe not on purpose, but accidentally cheesing it a little bit and being like, oh no, that one's my hope die. And then being like, I thought that one was your hope die. No, this one's always been my hope die. It's like, okay. If the hope and fear die both land on the same number, it's a critical success. Interesting. That's what a critical success is. On a critical success, you get what you want and a little more. Gain a hope and clear a stress. On a success, so this feels like I already actually need to look into character creation first, and character sheets to see how they are like dealing with having hope and having stress on there. On a success with hope, you pull it off well and get what you want, gain a hope. On a success with fear, you get what you want, but it comes with a cost or consequence. You might get attacked, gain limited information, attract danger. The GM gains fear. Now, I'm slightly worried about this part, to be honest, because I've come across this with other systems in the past where every roll, it either goes well or there's a consequence of some kind. And it becomes a problem when it's 50%. Like, if it's 50-50, whenever you roll, there's a 50% chance there's a consequence. It can, like, snowball into being quite punishing. It's very easy for like the same player to keep rolling with the fear dice being the highest and there being consequence after consequence after consequence. So I guess we just gotta play that to see what that feels like. But yeah, I mean, the vibe I get is that there's gonna be a negative, something negative is gonna happen 50% of the time when you're rolling. Which is obviously, you know, problematic. Usually can't understand the TTRPG's rules at all until I look at the card sheet so I can visualize it. Yeah. So, same. So let's... Oh, it's 1 page. Oh, okay. Okay, let's burn through this then. So, damage rolls when you make a successful attack. Roll a number of weapon dice equal to your proficiency and add them together. If the attack roll was a critical success, take the maximum potential value of all your damage dice added together and add it as a... I think I'm just going to have to roll some dice to figure this stuff out. You learn D&D from watching actual play shows, mainly CR. After seeing the session 0, it makes a tiny bit more sense, but I'm excited for the one-shot tonight. Yeah. Do you know what time that is? Because I think I said 7, but I think that's 7 on West Coast time, right? Which... I'm on the East Coast, so that's like 10 o'clock here. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm honestly, I'm most interested by far in let me throw this chat here. I'm most interested by far to see if they move into doing Daggerheart campaigns more than D&D in the future, because honestly, it makes sense if they're that similar. Like if they're, let's face it, in direct competition, like you wouldn't play both. You might play Candela Obscura and D&D as separate things, but you're not going to play D&D and Daggerheart. Probably, like most people aren't going to play both. It's going to be one or the other. So it'd be confusing if they didn't move to it completely. Yeah, 10 o'clock here. Cool. So if you've advantage, you add 1d6 advantage die to your action roll. Disadvantage, you subtract 1d6 disadvantage die from your action. You can help by spend a hope. So I bet this is so simple once we get into it, but it's like spend a hope and roll a d6 advantage die to add the ally's action roll. It feels like there's going to be a lot of marking stuff off on character sheets to do every little thing. Like it's in a weird way, it feels like there's more resources going about than D&D. Big up from Canada, Winterson. I'm in Toronto right now. Today was beautiful. We are like, winter is over, though it'll probably snow next week. Oh, you play Pathfinder 2 and 5e. So do you get any? I mean, you don't have to say, but you must have a favorite. Right? Are they not? Are they? The worlds are so similar, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So you must prefer playing one system to the other, whichever one it is. So then, if that's the case, why not just play the one system? Or do you like them both for different reasons? Act 3 has lost a lot of viewers, so now would be a good time to go. Yeah. I don't like looking at that stuff, like the viewership and stuff. That feels, I think that just happens as the year goes on, and different things like pull that up and pull that down. But yeah, I think for sure if they aren't happy with the views, now would be a good time to make a shift. But the question is, would they keep the same characters in the same world? Would it be Exandria? Or would they create a brand new world? Because so much of Exandria is tied into 5th edition at this point, to the point where there's full-on books from Darlington Press that have been, published under 5e through Wizards of the Coast. So it's kind of weird. And Pathfinder is more brutal. Ooh, I've never played Pathfinder. I want to, but I don't want to DM it. I not at the start, so I need to find like a Pathfinder DM. I'd want to use tokens rather than written numbers if hope and fear are constantly going up and down. Yeah. And this does feel like I've not seen many people talk about this, but from what I've seen, like you're using cards, which it's like it feels like it's an in-person game. I'm sure it'll work really well online still, but if you can have cards and if you can get tokens to represent hope and fear, and then you're like pushing it, almost makes it feel more like a tabletop game in a weird way. That would be cool. And also they get to sell more stuff, I guess, which is good for them. Yeah, we'll see, Winterson. I've seen the snow rear its ugly head pretty late in the year. The one shot at least isn't going to be in Exandria. Yeah, I wonder. It kind of gets confusing, and they might want to just spin it off into a brand new world and start fresh. But then that begs questions of like their whole online empire with Vox Machina and Mighty Nine having animated shows, and yeah, I guess maybe they're just gonna do everything. You're able to build a demi-plane character in about 20 minutes, so that wasn't bad. I might give that a go in a bit, actually, Ben, because that sounds cool. Okay. Each player, for the short rest, may swap any number of domain cards in their loadout for domain cards in their vault. See, that's over my head completely already. Do they have a loadout specifically, like every day? After every long rest, they have like, they prepare spells almost, where they choose a few cards that they can use that day, and their vault is stuff that's not in the loadout. Is that what that means? 10 to wounds. Describe how you temporarily patch yourself up and clear 1d4 hit points. You may choose to do this on an ally instead. Describe how you blow off steam or pull yourself together and clear 1d4 stress. Describe how you spend time quickly repairing your armor and clear 2 used armor slots. You may choose to do this to an ally's armor instead, and describe how you are preparing yourself for the path ahead and gain hope. So already, and I can see all through the long rest, it's describe, describe, describe. They don't want you just doing what I've seen players do, and what D&D kind of is fine with, which is like, I take a long rest, so now I'm healed. And it's never like, what are you doing during the long rest? Are you talking to each other? Are you helping each other out? Like, it's just, nope, let's just do it. Long rest, done, healed, let's go. So it does feel, I've heard them throw out like it's very narrative driven, but it feels very roleplay heavy, very character driven. Right. The more stuff you unlock, the more you get, and the things you aren't using is in the vault. Makes sense. For long rest, swap out any number of domain cards in their loadout for domain cards in their vault, then choose 2 of the options below. So you can only do 2 of these things, so there is some strategy in there. 10 to wounds. So a long rest doesn't repair you fully. That's one of the biggest differences then for me compared to D&D. It's way more, you gotta be way more tactical. It's way more resource management. Like literally, you can either heal yourself up fully after a long rest, clear your stress, repair your armor, prepare for the next day, which I think just gives you a bit of an advantage. Yeah, you gain hope. If you choose to prepare with one or more of your members of your party, you may each take 2 hopes. So that's a fun, because you're describing how you're interacting with each other, how you're preparing. Establish, connect, work on a project, establish or continue work on a project. The GM might ask for a role to determine how, right. This feels like one of my kind of biggest points when, like, the thing that has seen the most reaction online is when I said that Matt Mercer is really good at getting his players to roleplay with each other just by not talking. And I got so many comments that would be like, well, Matt can just not talk and let his players roleplay because his players are there to do that. They're entertainers, they are roleplayers, they want to be doing that. Most tables, the DM can't just shut up. The DM has to keep going and going and going. But it sounds like this game is specifically putting it in fundamentally in the rule book that the DM is going to be shutting up a lot and just letting, like, you have to describe how you do this and describe how you do that and describe how you do this together. It feels like it's going to, like, secretly trick the players into chatting and role-playing together. You might try making a character later on Demiplane. Yeah, it should be interesting. So is Demiplane going to be the main place for character sheets and stuff? I wonder, like, the main application outside of just printing one off and having one at home. Because I'm pretty tied to D&D Beyond right now. So, and my players are as well. I think we would prefer having like a good app that will handle, especially if there's a lot of resource management. It would be nice to have a good app. Demiplane. Daggerheart. Oh. Okay. Daggerheart Nexus, official digital companion. Create characters. Ah, I've got to log in. Cool. Yeah, that's the... I honestly think most TTRPGs nowadays, they just need two things to really break out. And that, the first one is advertising and marketing, because D&D like just destroys all that stuff. But also like ease of use. Like if you can get an app that does most of the stuff for you, then yeah, you're good to go. Alright, let me log onto this real quick and we can try making a character. Okay. Types of experiences you enjoy. So I'm just getting demi-planed now. This is just demi-plane getting me into the system. I'm just gonna skip for now. I'm eager to skip for now. Oh, what? Daggerheart coming soon. Daggerheart playtest. That's gotta be it. So the Pathfinder or Path Builder 2E, is that Pathfinder? An app, like an app version on Demiplane? And does that cost money? Is the real question. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, it's just one time. That's not that bad then. I mean, that's way better than D&D Beyond, which I'm paying like... I mean, I'm only paying $3, but I'm paying $3 every single month. But that's just on the DM, I guess. So, like, if the players have to do that, I'd have a bigger issue on my hands. Daggerheart. Yeah, let's play. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna throw myself in here, I think. So, getting started, my character name will be Bonus. He, him. Level 1 to start with. And then this guy. Begin. Choose an ancestry. Okay, that's a lot of ancestries. Clanks. I literally just put out a, well, last week I put out a little like question on YouTube asking whether people are going to go by race or species moving forwards on D&D, since it's changing to species. I mean, it has officially changed to species now in Wizards of the Coast official material. And I should have put ancestry in there as well, because that kind of makes sense to me. So clanks are sentient mechanical beings built from such materials as metal, wood, stone, and clay. Demon? Those of demon ancestry are the humanoid descendants of the fallen gods who possess sharp canines, pointed ears. Ooh. Tell me more. Okay. We've got images. So clanks are warforged. I'm just going to use D&D as like a... Is it all I know? So I'm going to compare. Demons are obviously... I mean, they're tieflings. Dracona, is that Dragonborn? Oh yes. Wingless dragons. Dwarfs, ooh. They should have just switched dwarfs and elves. Like, dwarfs should be like tall people that live for 1,000 years, and elves should be short people who live underground mining. Yeah, they're classic. Fairy. Oh, I like the design of the fairies. Fawn. Firbolg. I thought that said Fun Girl. Fun Grill. The opposite of what I thought the image would be when I saw Fun Girl. Fun Grills resemble a mushroom. I gotta admit, these heritages feel pretty like unique. Normally you get clones from D&D, but apart from elf and dwarf, and like demon and dracona, but once you get into the fairies and the fawn, the furbolgs, I know they're in D&D, but the fun girls, the galloper, turtles. All right, thanks, Winterson. All right, have a good night. Giants. Giants are very tall humanoids with long arms, broad stature, and 1 to 3 eyes. So that's interesting. So giants are just completely different to what we're used to. Because I would have thought Goliaths would be the closest to this, like half giants, but these are just... Mind you, they look big. That's a playable race. If that's real size, that's pretty crazy. You're used to saying race, but I get the reason it's being phased out. Yeah, I mean, just... It's whatever the companies want to do, I guess, at this point. The biggest people with an issue are like saying, words don't mean anything. Like, they're just words. It's not harmful. I should be able to say race without being racist and all that stuff. And then you go, okay, well, if they're just words, why don't you change it? And they're like, I'm not changing it. And it's like, well, it's not just you obviously have put a lot of meaning and there's a lot of politics behind this. So it obviously is more than just a word to you, and that's exactly why we should probably change it, because things are more than just words. There's a lot of politics and things behind this stuff that can like harm communities. So, let's look at the goblin art. Cute. Small humanoids typically recognized by their large eyes and massive membranous ears. Halflings. Humans. Qatari. Like Tabaxi, but they're pretty cool. I think Qatari are going to be a really popular class. I think they're going to be like how popular elves are in D&D. Like Qatari are going to be up there. Because Tabaxi are cool. Like catfolk are cool. But they are like, full cats. There's like a furry thing going on. This seems like a nice balance. Orcs, Rivet. I've seen a lot of love for the frog peeps, and Simaya. Oh, I have a player who will love this class. She's playing a raccoon right now, so she would love to play just a reskinned Simaya. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's go for Qatari. Actually, let's go for, what do you think would be the least chosen? Let's go for the one that will get the least picks. Yeah, the same. Like, if I say race, it's on autopilot, and I'm still going to do that for a long time. I like species, I like ancestry. I think they're all interchangeable. I don't want to be using race that much, but I think if you use that, I think that's the biggest thing. People are like, if I use race, then I'm a really bad guy, and that's not the case. You can totally, use the word race. It really is the politics behind it, and if you are aware that there's that's even a little bit, just the tiniest thing that someone can like take offense to it, but the offense is like full on, really awful acts in human history, just change it. It's just what you get used to. Yeah, I still say race all the time, but like, It is what it is. It is what it is. I just don't like it because I think it's confusing. I think I don't ever want to be at a table with a new player and ask what race their character is, and them just being like, "Oh, they're Caucasian, they're white," and it's like, no, not what race. What race? It's just confused. There's just a real life kind of thing that confuses it. So you like Simaya, Ben? 1 second. Alright, so Simaya's the monkey one, right? Yeah. They are cool. They'll be good, like, I was gonna say they'll be good monks, but I don't even know if monks are in this game, to be honest. So for me, I think one of the least chosen, but one of the coolest, is probably gonna be the Fun Grill. So let's go with Fun Grill. They resemble a mushroom in humanoid form, bearing the features of the fungus from which they descend. To speak with other fungal across distance to access their hive mind of information, make an instinct roll. At character creation, describe what ritual you must perform to tap into this connection. Ooh. Alright. Choose a community. So is this background, I guess, fundamentally. So this is obviously a man of nature. He's a mushroom. So with that in mind, like Wildborn would make the most sense. You were raised by a clan deep within the forest, but I like the idea of turning that on its head and going for the opposite and saying he was born. He's a highborn. He's a highborn. He is born into a life of elegance. All right. Class. Okay. So Bard. It's so bad that I base so much of my initial kind of like impressions on these classes and stuff by just the artwork. It's so strong. Druid. Guardian. Is that like a paladin? Once per long rest, you can become unstoppable. I like the sound of that. Your unstoppable die begins as a D4. Place it on your character sheet in the designated section of your class features, starting with the die's highest value facing up. While unstoppable, you gain resistance to physical damage. Add an additional D6 to any damage roll you make, and can spend stress to re-roll any single die you've rolled. Actually, these sound like a fighter. They sound like they wanted to take fighter and make it cooler. Ranger. Rogue. Seraph. Prayer dice. So are these like clerics / paladins? Like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B? They seem like the only kind of healy ones, unless druids are a little bit healy. Sorcerer, a classic. Oh no, there is a warrior. I guess this is like a fighter. So I guess Guardian is more like a bit of a paladin. And then of course, wizard. Interesting there's no kind of warlock-esque one. Just because that's so popular in D&D. Let's go with, for my dude, I like the idea of him as a guardian. I like the idea of this fun grill. This massive mushroom becoming unstoppable. And experiences. Wait. Can I choose 2? No. Choose your descriptions. Clothes that are non-existent. I'm a big naked fun grill. All classes share cards that they can choose from 2 groups. Ooh. What, like in? Did I miss? No, I can only choose 1. Okay. It's just this one here that's throwing me off. Like. Alright, I'll see it here soon. Alright. I don't know why this isn't getting ticked next to class. But okay. Non-existent, eyes like stars. Body that is substantial. The colour of like a night forest green. Attitude like very like stoic, I think. Answer background questions. Nothing showing up here. Okay. Generate experience. Enter experience. Backgrounds like bodyguard, con artist, immersion, blah 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 blah. Specializations like you didn't get your class. Select class on the right side of the screen. Did the same thing messing with earlier. So we go to class. Select on the right side of the screen. Thank you, Brad. So now it's changed to 12. Because I've got all this stuff now. Okay, this is... well, so I'm going to go for a stalwart. Just want to see the art, same art. Select. My traits. Okay, thank you. This makes more sense. It's going to be all strength and presence and instincts, but he's not going to be very agile, unfortunately. Choose starting weapons. Let's go with primary and secondary weapons. I think some gauntlets. So it's suggesting battle axe for me, but we're gonna go against the grain and say arcane gauntlets, and then for a second weapon. So is 1H here hope? I wonder. Hook. On a successful attack, you may also pull a target into melee with you. Oh yeah, he's a grappler for sure, this dude. Starting armor. He's gonna go light. He isn't really... Actually, no, let's go with the chainmail armor. Health potion. It certainly feels like stamina and like things that aren't just like HP are gonna be more important. Like in D&D, it's health and it's damage. It feels like the two most important numbers in the game. Maybe spell slots. It's okay. It's okay, Kat. I don't think anyone heard. Just going through the Daggerheart character creation stuff. It's interesting. And a secret key. And then these are the big ones, the cards. Well, this card's in your loadout. If you choose to not wear armor, your armor score is equal to D plus W. Forceful push. When you make a successful melee attack, you can push the target out of melee range. Yes. I can have 2 of these. I am your shield. When an ally very close to you is going to take damage, you may mark a stress to stand in its way. When you make a successful attack using a weapon with melee or very close range, you may also spend a hope to what? So against every other enemy in that weapon's range, yes. But I do want to see the art. It's the same artwork. This artwork is very cool. The whirlwind artwork is very, very cool. Alright, experiences. So this one, Daggerheart, your experience is one of the core ways you'll express your character's backstory and expertise through mechanics. So that's a little confusing because I thought experience would be like experience points, but this is backgrounds fundamentally. This isn't my character. In fact, Kat, let me show you some of the heritage options, the ancestry options, I should say. So you can play. I'll just get the images up for you. Clank, which is like a robot type thing. Demon, which is like a tiefling type thing. Dracona, Dragonborn. Dwarf and Elf, pretty basic stuff. Fairy. Fawn. Furbolg. A Fungril. So this is what I'm playing. It's a giant mushroom. So my profile picture isn't what I'm playing. My profile picture is actually of a Qatari, which is fundamentally half human, half cat. For the Samaya, he's a chef, but only with bugs. Yeah, Samaya is this cool monkey, monkey dude. You can play as a frog, classic orc, human, halfling, goblins. I like the look at this goblin. That is a cool looking goblin. A galloper, which are turtles fundamentally, and then the biggest twist is giants for me. Like I would have thought this would be kind of like a Goliath, and it kind of is, but they have between 1 and 3 eyes. Like, I guess in in the lore, you're as likely to come across a giant with 1 eye as you are 2, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and I think the idea is, like, I'm hoping if you buy like the starter set of this when it comes out, I think it's still a while away, you would get all these cards, like physical, like actual cards that you can kind of like put together your character and what they can do via all these cards. So you're not like looking through a character sheet to see what you can do next, you're just going through your deck of 6 cards that you've put together. Yeah, it's kind of League. That it is. Touch Zero helps understand creating characters way more. Right. I will check that out. Probably not on stream because I'm getting hungry now. But I'll check. I'm gonna try and watch as many of those videos as possible. The session 0 is like 2 hours long, right? So that will take me all the way up to the actual live stream tonight of the play session. Alright, so general experience. I guess I put in like bodyguard, right? Is that what it's asking for? And like with I'm just looking down here, with incredible strength. Is that kind of what it is? And then you can put 1 extra point in one of these? No, it would be a drop down menu if it was that. Yeah, no worries, car. Like, sticky fingers might help with stealing stuff or grappling, depending on how well you can explain it. Meant to be vague. Right. Where did you get sticky fingers from? That's not in here, is it? Right. Let's just throw that in there for now. Just so I can. I just want to see the card sheet. So level up to. Let's see what. Oh. So when you level up, you create a new experience. So let's say my mushroom bodyguard fighter also becomes a con artist. And then increase damage thresholds. That just happens automatically. Choose domain deck cards. So I'm going to go with. I guess I can't choose any of these. Select. I guess none of these are selectable. Level up options, increase traits, yes. Well, no, I can't select any of these. 1 is 2 and 1 is 1. It's actually 0. Right. Alright, let's just have a look at this. Show me the card sheet. See what this looks like. Did this load properly? I guess so. Maybe too many people are trying to make it. Oh well, here's some feedback for you, Darrington Press. I guess this is Demi playing. So I guess this should be showing other stuff. Oh, am I in like dark mode or something and it's not made for that? Well, let me try refreshing it one last time. Do I have a dark reader? I've got nothing currently like installed and going that should be changing the theme of anything. The paper card sheets do look cool. Oh, yeah, actually, can I... That could be a fun thing to look at, actually. All the cards. Just for the artwork. Look at the uncanny disguise artwork. I guess Reign of Blades is actually what it should be. That's so cool. The Whirlwind one's so cool. This is very Valorant. Like, it's very Valorant, very League of Legends. Healing Hands looks like it's not healing. It looks like a damage thing. Oh, final words like speak the dead. Very cool. Body slasher. Oh, body basher. Counter spells there. Oh. Alright, they're repeating themselves now. So that's a lot of cards. Holy. Up to level 10. It might just be mine, Brad. I'm fine with that at this point. This is just one PDF of cards. There's 4 PDFs of cards. Action tracker cards. Oh, it's just a single card. Whenever PCs make an action roll, they place a character token on the action tracker. So I'm sure once I get my head around it and I see this in action, it's going to make sense. But right now, I'm just imagining describing this to players, players new to the game, and I'm just being like, you want me to do what every time I make an action roll? Yeah, very cool. Oh, I didn't fully look at these. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, no matter... I feel like this game's just gonna be a success on, like, looks alone. And it looks very different to D&D. I just can't... Unless they really don't listen to feedback and really mess up somehow. Like, the worst case scenario is it's kind of just, like, a meh situation, but it's still gonna be incredibly successful. Oh, you gotta time it in your games? Holy. Campaign maps. Interesting. I'm not a fan of the maps. I feel like I want to get in there and colour it in. Like, the whole rest of the game is so colourful and vibrant, and the maps are... Oh no, that was the right way up. It's this to me. Yeah, they could have some colour in there, but, you know, as long as they do the job, I guess. But there's no scale by the looks of things. There's not really an indication of anything, really. I guess it's more for us to take it and make it our own. Alright, before I jump off, let me just see what else is in here real quick. There's the Quick Start Adventure PDF. Okay, so this feels like really what I should have started with. Like the basics. Duality dice, 2d12 dice of different colours. Choose one to represent hope and one to represent fear. Most rolls you make will be action rolls. They use the duality dice, roll them together, and any modifiers that apply, and tell the GM the total as well as what die rolled higher. See, this might seem a bit unnecessary. It's like you're adding the 2 dice together, but then you're taking which one rolled higher. I feel like you could just take the number from the highest roll. Like whichever dice rolls higher becomes the dice you use, if that makes sense. I did hear a theory that they actually want high numbers though. They want big numbers just because people like rolling big numbers. Oh, okay. You got character sheets. HP is just like a set thing, I guess. So like this is the max HP anyone can have up here. And this is the lowest. 2 HP, 3 HP. And then you got the stress, which is the same. So those are the 2 big resources, I guess. HP and stress. Spend hope to use an experience or help an ally. Yeah, it would be nice to have little tokens to represent hope and stuff. You know, for all the different layout and different changes to the character sheet compared to D&D, they really just be stealing or keeping with the proficiency modifiers up here. Like it looks identical to a D&D sheet. HP based on damage thresholds. Right, I heard about that, right? So it's like if I do 20 damage, then that will be the equivalent of one of these bars, you know, something like that. That's the same for Pathfinder. That's another thing I heard. Like they wanted you to roll really high damage numbers so that you can be like, I just did 60 damage, and then it'd be like, okay, but you only lose 4 HP. So it's like easy maths kind of thing. But I am slightly worried that is going to overcomplicate things. But I'm an idiot. I like real simple situations when I'm dealing with D&D, and it's why I've not jumped onto like Pathfinder fully, because I've heard Pathfinder is very crunchy, and I know I'm in a minority. I know a lot of people want, like, they've mastered D&D and they want more complex stuff, or they want to be able to do more things, or they want more intricate mechanics. But for me, I find when I'm homebrewing, I'm often dumbing stuff down. Like I'm making it more simple, quicker, easier to understand. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about getting players to roll 70 damage and then doing a quick calculation of how much HP that is. But should be interesting. And then this is where like you would have your cards, your community, your ancestry, your subclass, and then I guess these are the 2 things you can do. But the cards are kind of, you've got recall cost. Cards can be taken out of your loadout and put into your vault, which makes them inactive. The recall cost is the amount of stress. So stress is a little lightning bolt, I guess. Do we know what the symbol for hope is? Oh, I guess no. I guess stress is just stress and HP are the 2 things. Okay. Barnacle. Interesting. I didn't see the gold stuff. How much gold do you have? I have 3 handfuls. 3 handfuls of gold, 2 bags of gold, 1 chest, 1 hoard, and 1 fortune. Is that what it is? Or is it like you build up so that you start off with like 1, 2, 3, 5 handfuls, and once you've got 5 handfuls, you get a bag. And once you've got 4 bags, you get a chest, and once you've got 3 chests, you have a hoard. That's interesting. That is really interesting, because when you're buying stuff and you're just like, that's 2 handfuls of gold. I like that. I like that a lot. That one of my biggest pet peeves with D&D is the idea that they have this currency system where you are doing it on the fly. You're figuring out what an electrum is and how many gold pieces are in an electrum and all that stuff. These go on the side of the sheets. So what you're telling me is that I'm going to need a bigger table. This section donates your class. Each class is made up of 2 domains. Asian. Oh, I see. This is where... Oh, so these are literally like tips. They're tutorial things. This represents a particular... Ah. That is pretty cool. So you would just cut this out and just place it on the side here, and it will all line up. Oh, very good. Okay, I dig it. Makes it easy just to wing it with the gold. Yeah, I like that. It's like roughly you know what a piece of bread costs compared to a horse, say, because a piece of bread is like the lowest possible thing, 1 handful of gold. And then like a horse, you'd be like, it's probably, you know, what, a couple of bags. I wonder if there will be a straight like conversion, like that's 3 handfuls of gold or 1 bag full, because they're about the same. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, I am getting hungry. This was a test stream. I think it has been okay, like technicality wise. I'm gonna figure out more fun stuff to do with streams in the future. That's not just me looking through PDFs and going, oh, look at the illustrations. Oh, look at the illustrations. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go watch all the Session 0 stuff on Daggerheart, and then I'm looking forward to the stream tonight. It should be good. So I'll catch you guys later.